Welcome to Booksolve and my response, I think more than review, of Ultramarine by Mariette Navarro, now that I've finished reading it in its entirety. Um, and I want to focus very much on the things that I enjoyed from the book. Books have things to give you, and um, the authors have put a lot of themselves into the book, and you need to um, respect that, I think. There's hard work gone into it, and anyway, this one, it's very much the sort of book that I do like, um, in terms of it. Uh, it's a lot of internal thoughts of the main character, and it's interesting that we don't learn her name. We only find out about her relationship with her father, and that's an interesting relationship from my point of view, between a father and a daughter. Um, and I think I enjoyed and appreciated the sense of unease, uh, building up to dread that you got in the book. That was conveyed very well. You always weren't sure that things weren't going to unhinge entirely. And although maybe use some of known common tropes of doing that, they were included very efficiently and without any of the ridiculous excesses that horror would bring on. I would say this was a book that is full of tension and anxiety, um, and looks at the dichotomy between calmness and panic, um, and um, the themes that are there. Certainly, communication is one big theme here, and vocalization. What do we say? Why do we say it? How do men and women communicate with each other? Do we do that well, or are we fall short of very much of what we could do in that? Obviously, there's a theme of a woman in a man's world. It's an unusual occupation, being a ship's captain. She's obviously going to have had to work hard and work against a lot of prejudice to get to that particular point. Um, Even given that, her father was also a sea captain. Um, and there's an interesting, it talks, I think, and looks at the dynamic between a woman in that role and the officers and the 20 seamen that are there on the crew as well. I enjoyed the fact that it was um, upset. It wasn't on a sailing ship as I imagined at the first go, but on a very. It's so contemporary in the setting that this is a cargo ship with those containers on that just get lifted on, and it's taking produce from Europe. Um, it's travelling from Europe to the Caribbean, and picking up produce and taking it backwards and forwards. And this is what these mariners do, working on these kind of ships. So it's all about metal and water rather than sort of traditional idea of sea, where it's wood and there's creaking of the boat, and the wind is what propels them from one side to the other. This is engines that do it. This is mechanical things. So there maybe is some kind of commentary on capitalism. Maybe, I don't know. I don't pick that up too much from the book. Um, I think um, that it's yeah, it's an unusual, definitely an unusual setting. So yes, I'm really happy with it. Things that I didn't like all that much, I guess, um, was this relationship between or the development of the relationship between the sea captain and the mate, the first mate, because um, it seemed to me that that didn't perhaps, or for me, that didn't illuminate anything that the story was trying to say about either the protagonist's development, um, or about society, or anything of that nature. I wasn't sure about where that actually took us. Um, he'd got this totem, the pebble, which was a memory for him of his his son and skimming stones on the sea, and how he'd um, thought his son was worried about him uh, not coming back from the sea at any one time. When his son had asked him, well, how often do the ships not come back? Um, and his son riposted, well, no, I was just asking how many. I'm not worried about it. Um, and then the metro ticket um, is interesting, very much so, because it's a souvenir that he's kept when he's suddenly decided to desert his marriage and to run away. And he's got as far as riding on the metro in Paris, um, and changed his mind and returned. Um, so it's a sort of token of him, of his maintaining his marriage and being sensible about the decisions he's taken, or conservative, I suppose, not sensible. Um, is he going to do that? Is he going to take up with the sea captain? Is she going to accept him? Are they going to uh, evolve their relationship? I don't really think so. I think they're both going to go their own ways now. Um, but it's not an important issue in terms of the novel. I don't feel, because I don't think we know enough about those two characters' romantic relationships, and to be able to think that that's part of the story. Um, so there we are. Um, a very short book that I've read in 4 parts, which no doubt you could read without taking voluminous notes like I do, in one evening, in one setting. You just read it through. Um, it wouldn't take long to do that. It's taken me longer because, well, one of the things that I'm trying to do, um, even more so now, one of the points of starting this channel, is to read with a greater enjoyment, a greater uh, understanding, and to pick up everything that I can from whatever I'm reading at the time, and not be too worried about getting through to the next book, which I think is always a thing. It's about reading, the quality of the reading that I'm doing, rather than the quantity. So I've not rushed reading this. I think it's going to mean that as I read books, 6 months down the line, I will still be able to remember lots about them. Whereas at the moment, I guess if I picked, and I'll keep a spreadsheet of which books I've read, if I picked a book that I'd read 6 months ago and went, how much do I remember of it? It's probably not all that much. It fades, doesn't it, over time? Um, and doing this, I think, is a discipline that is going to help enrich my my reading experience. I'm very much interested, if you've read Ultramarine, what your thoughts are about it. I would be extremely happy to find even one person commenting on on this video. Um, and now it's on to the next book. So it's cheerio from Booksolve, and happy reading to you all.